Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name's Lindsay. I am a doll collector, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today's video is a very special one. Today we are going to be unboxing two of the Ever After High Spring Unsprung collector's dolls. First, today we're going to be unboxing Kitty Cheshire, the leading woman of course. And second, we will be unboxing Cerise Hood. This video is a very exciting one for me to be filming. I have always loved the Spring Unsprung special in particular. I remember when it first came out, it was like my absolute favorite, and it was my favorite for a while. It still definitely ranks really high in my ranks. I think now it's kind of switched a bit, and I think Way to Wonderland is probably my favorite Ever After High special now. But Spring Unsprung still always holds like a very special place in my heart. It was just so good when it first came out. I like to purchase all my dolls in box, even though I am an out-of-box collector when I display them. I definitely like to hold on to all the boxes, and there's so many, I feel like there's just so many different ways that you can display the dolls, even if you take them out of the box, and making the box like a part of that display. So here we are today, and let's get started on unboxing the lovely Kitty Cheshire. As we all know, Ever After High dolls, they're truly a work of art. So of course we're going to start with Kitty because she is the main character, and I've also always adored Kitty. She is definitely one of my top favorites. Taking a look at her box, obviously the packaging is always beautiful on these dolls as well. So on the back of each of these dolls, it has Lizzie's sketch of each of the dresses that she made for the main four characters. So up top, as you can see, it just has the usual choose your own ever after. It says Ever After High celebrates in full bloom at the annual Spring Fairest. Only this year, everything's gone topsy-turvy. Up is down, black is white, and royals are acting like rebels. This year, it's a Spring Unsprung. So for Kitty's design, on the back of the box, it says her name, and then it says style with a smile. Here's Lizzie's sketch, and then it kind of has like all like her little notes about what she was going to do for each individual style. It says she has Cheshire stripes and faux fur sleeves. It has yarn with catnip flowers. And then the second layer of the dress has Wonderland flowers. And then I believe this part is the same on all of the dolls boxes from this line. But it says this year's Spring Fairest is in the spirit of Wonderland. That's why I'm encouraging Lizzie Hearts to bring out my inner wonder with some wicked awesome outfits designed from her heart. So I guess that's like a little message from Kitty to Lizzie as she's, you know, designing these dresses. I kind of wish we got to see more of the process of her like designing the dresses in the special, but nonetheless, they were so beautifully executed. And they definitely also did an excellent job bringing them from screen to life as well. So then looking back at her front of her box, all the Spring Unsprung doll boxes, they have, of course, the Ever After High logo. They have these beautiful lampposts with the Spring Unsprung logo. And then in addition to the doll itself, they also have a little Ring for You edition there, so that's also very cute. And then down here, it looks like they have a picture of like the main four girls from Spring Unsprung who had the dresses made for them by Lizzie. So let's go ahead and start unboxing Miss Kitty Cheshire. Oh, and another quick thing I forgot to add. Even though this is a specialty doll, we do have a bookmark diary inside with Spring Unsprung memories. So I've actually never read those before, so that one's going to be really exciting to read for the first time. So just like always, as long as we are gentle, we should be able to pull off the front plastic covering on the front of the box and keep everything else, like the back of the box and the design, all intact. Looks like I am gonna have to cut like these little serrated parts right here on this side of the box, but other than that, it's all gonna just slide right out nice and easy. All right, perfect. So there we go. Comes off nice and smooth. We can see which parts of the packaging stay on the clear part, and it looks like this Spring Unsprung flower itself was a little cockeyed there, so maybe we'll see if we can fix that. But there's the front facade and what comes off with it. And then another thing I wanted to mention, and it certainly becomes glaringly obvious once we get it unboxed this far. As we know, the Wonderland characters are a bit shorter than all the other characters in Ever After High, and so they are in keeping with that when they make the dolls. And clearly they make a choice when they package them to keep all the characters on the same like eye line. But personally for me, I'm not a big fan of that because I don't like how like they're floating. But that is my one little critique. I would prefer if they just put them all on the same plane rather than worrying about their eye line. But that's just a little nitpicky thing. But anyways, as we can see, oh my gosh, she's even more beautiful the closer we get to taking her out of the box. I think the next thing I'm going to do is take out her bookmark, and then we'll take out the doll stand and all that good stuff. And that's also another thing I love about this packaging. Like, of course, all like the standard dolls, they have like the nice like traditional Ever After High background, and it's usually like colored to theme with that character's color palette. But with these, we have like the Spring Unsprung, like the fairgrounds. So it has the black and white, what do we call this? The black and white like game board that Kitty's mother like sent upon them, that they had to kind of like maneuver through, so that's pretty cute. And then as we go further up the box, we just see like, you know, the tower of Ever After High. We see the black and white banners for the changing of the seasons, and then those little pops of color and the flowers for the show that spring has sprung. All right, so let's take a look at her bookmark diary. Oh my god, stop. This is so cute. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of this. It's like a little map of the entire Spring Fairest fairgrounds. That's so beautiful with all the watercolors. And of course it has like the Ferris wheel, the concession stands. It has the stage where they did the chef showdown. So adorable. And then on the back, let's see. This year's annual Spring Fairest will be held this Wednesday. Never knew they called it Wednesday. At Ever After High. 8 a.m. opening chapter ceremonies by Headmaster Grimm. 9 a.m. May tree ribbon wrapping activity. 10 a.m. rides and games open. 11 a.m. magical beast show. 12 p.m. final entries for the chef showdown. 1 p.m. Sparrowhood at the dunking booth. That's another thing we saw in the special. 2 p.m. face painting contest. 3 p.m. tea ceremony. 4 p.m. chef showdown with celebrity guest judge. 5 p.m. prize winners with Headmaster Grimm. Oh my god, that's so cute. Like the whole like schedule, and so that's in there. That's adorable. And then it has Kitty's little blurb. I'm sure everyone's wondering whether or not I'm going to pull any pranks at the Spring Fairest. Well, not to give away any spoilers, but I am. First, I'm going to replace Headmaster Grimm's microphone with one that makes him sound like Thumbelina. Okay. I'm entering a skunk dragon into the Magical Beast talent show. What's his talent? Wicked morning breath. Let's see, I'm making extra spicy spellfire chili pie for the baking contest, and just wait until they see what I have in story for the Ferris wheel that we saw in the special. Mom's going to be so proud of me. I know it sounds mean, but it's really not. This year's Spring Fairest is inspired by Wonderland, and as we all know, it's not a Wonderland party if a Cheshire doesn't play tricks. What can I say? It's kind of a family tradition. Make a mestival of a festival. Besides, it's all in good fun. So precious. And then it has, so that's like her little entry there. And then it has her picture from Spring Fairest. And then of course on the back of all the bookmark diaries, it has, you know, the link to the website from back in the day when the website existed. So that's adorable. And I love how they went with the black and white. And it looks like all the Spring Unsprung dolls have that. So it has like the pop of color from their charm that we see on their personal diaries. Then it has the black and white, which I love because like I love how they thought it through, like the black and white representing like winter, and then the pops of color to show that spring has sprung.
Black and white to represent winter. And a dash of floral color to show that spring has sprung.
But how it also kind of like plays into like when everything starts going topsy-turvy and how all the color kind of is like drained from everything. It's just so well thought out. Like how did this show get canceled? Like, I genuinely don't understand. Okay, the next order of business here is going to be to take out the doll stand. And we know that that is in the spine. And again, on this packaging, we have her name and, you know, daughter, the Cheshire Cat, and her photograph and everything on this part of the spine. And then there's like a second spine over here that has the Ever After High, has Brooke Page, it has the words, it has a Spring Unsprung background. And then again, I just listed again, Kitty Cheshire, daughter of the Cheshire Cat. I'm kind of struggling a bit. Her stand is like stuck. Oh, alright, so she has gray. Oh, and they put her brush in there too. I forgot that these dolls would also come with a brush. Although, of course, many doll collectors know you typically don't ever put a brush to doll hair unless it's straight. Or you're working on, you know, a boil wash. I've honestly seen so many tutorials about boil washing lately on like TikTok and YouTube, just all kinds of places online. And I'm so tempted to do it with some of my dolls, but I'm so nervous that I'm going to do it wrong. And then, you know, hundreds of dollars down the drain. Because I would have to replace, and it's just kind of scary. Maybe someday. I don't actually have my Lizzie Hart's doll out on display right now because her hair is like... I was really thrown off because when I got her in box, it was already like not the way it should have been. I don't know what happened to it. It was never opened, but it came in box and it was not in the condition it should have been. It might have just been like a what do you call it? I don't know. It must have just been manufactured that way, but I was kind of disappointed, but I hung on to it and I did what I could with the hair, but then I was getting more frustrated over time because on display I could see it, like her little, you know, like her little updo there was like drooping down and down, and I was like, I have to do something about this. So I think I'm going to end up taking hers to boil wash, but we'll see. We'll see. For now, she's just not on display. But I'd really love to get her out there, so hopefully sometime soon. Okay, so this is what we're left with. Let's take out the ring. Looks like it's just a little plastic ring attachment here. But that's cute. I know Mattel still does this with the Disney I Love You Forever dolls, which I also collect some of. Oh, that's cute. Cute little Unsprung ring. And I believe they're all gray like that too. Yeah. Okay, so we'll leave that there. And now let's take Kitty. All right, so the first thing I just popped out of her box was her little Spring Fair's handbag. And it is adorable. It looks like a little flower basket. So cute. Luckily, when you're unboxing these, it's also pretty easy to just cut away all the extra like elastics and stuff so that you can keep the back of the box to like use as a display for the background and stuff like that. I haven't currently displayed any of my dolls in that way because I have my Ever After High display is kind of set up like a whole, you know, continuous scene. Like it has Raven's Vanity, and I have her and like Apple and Darling over there, and then it goes into Briar's dorm room, and Briar's there, of course. And I think I have Cupid over there. I mean, it's right behind me, you can see it. Then it flows into like the Glass Slipper and Bookend Boutique and all that stuff, and then Beanstalk Bakery. So it's like a nice flowing little set. But so I have like all the characters where they need to be. But for these dolls, I'm actually thinking of displaying them in front of their boxes. All right, so I just finished cutting her out, so now she's free. But I still have to go in really close and cut out all of these funny little elastics and all that good stuff. So I'll come back when that's done. I'm debating whether or not I want to leave this ring for you thing in the box. I'm thinking I'm going to keep it, but I think I'm going to cut it away from the background so when it's on display, it's not just like a ring for you. Okay, so the box is looking good. Now let's try and fix up Kitty. So here she is. Her ponytails can probably use a little bit of work, but I'm not too worried about that right now. There was also like this funky little plastic thing keeping her headband in place. But I did remove that because there's like two little studs on the side kind of keeping it in place on the bottom. And there was like this like thick plastic over here, and it just wasn't a good look. So it's still sturdy though, like it's not going anywhere. Look at her. Look at her beautiful headband and her little ears. I love how they always do something with the cat ears even though she has normal ears. It's just so precious. I love it. And then I love how like they all have like these flower crowns. She has the flowers over her shoulders. Here's the faux fur and the Cheshire stripes. And then I love specifically for her, especially because this is like so like crucial to her storyline in this one, how we go from like the black and white stripes into like the purple and the florals. Oh, it's so pretty. I can't. She's so beautiful. Also like the little belt. Like, I don't think Lizzie said anything about this in her notes on the back of the box, but, you know, that's like, wait, maybe this is the catnip, yarn with catnip flowers. Maybe. It's definitely yarn. All right, so that's Kitty. All right, so now that we're all set with Kitty, let's head into Cerise. All right, so next up we have Cerise. So here is what Cerise's box looks like. Of course, it looks very similar to Kitty's. The only difference I notice is down here, instead of having a picture of the main four, it says watch on Netflix. Of course, advertising where you can watch the Spring Unsprung special when it first debuted. Here's her spine. She has the Rebel seal up top. We have her Spring Unsprung profile picture. Cerise Hood, daughter of Red Riding Hood, all the good stuff. And then like her little basket logo on the bottom. Yeah. And then again, we have the beautiful little Spring Unsprung lamppost and the Spring Unsprung logo. And the Ever After High logo, of course. The back is essentially the exact same thing, except it's tailored to her. So this whole top chunk is exactly the same as Kitty's. And then it says for Cerise Hood, black and white and red all over. And here is Lizzie's sketch of her dress. Her notes were little red sparkle hood, because she has that sparkly bedazzled hood. Branches and berries, perfect for hiding from wolves. White wildflowers, beautiful yet untamed. Perfect. And then again, this little blurb here, it's exactly the same as Kitty's. They're all just kind of encouraging Lizzie to bring out their inner wonder. So even though Cerise, of course, is not a Wonderland character, she still wants to showcase that inner wonder. So I'm gonna go about opening her box the exact same way that I did Kitty's. And another thing I should mention about the backings is also we always have the other three characters that are published at the same time as the one you purchase. So there's Cedar, Briar, and Holly. I chose not to get Holly, even though she's technically like one of the main four for Spring Unsprung, because they don't include Kitty because like she is like her own main character in this special. And I don't have any Holly or Poppy dolls just because I don't really vibe with them. I mean, I like their purpose in the story, and I love the whole thing about Poppy keeping it a secret about how she was actually born first so that Holly can actually be the next Rapunzel. But yeah, I just don't have any of their dolls. Her box removed itself. Beautiful. Okay, so once again we have the ring for you situation. I'll put that one on in a minute. And then we have her bookmark story we'll have to look at. Guess we'll start with that stuff. So here's what her little ring looks like. Very similar by comparison, except it's more like Kitty's is more like the flowers, like she has those big flowers on her head. And then Cerise with like the berries and the twigs and branches and stuff. So I'll put hers on while I'm unboxing her. And the next order of business, of course, is to open her bookmark story. So here's hers. Again, same style, the black and white stripes, and then her little charm up top. There's that gorgeous Spring Ferris Fairgrounds map. The same schedule, of course, for the event. And then her little blurb. My, what a big event Spring Ferris is going to be. Normally, I'd just hang back in the shadows, but not this year. Spring is the season of change, and lately, I've been feeling like the more change, the better, so time for some fun. Every year, I take a look at the dunking booth and think, I can win the big prize. Nobody at school is a better arm than me. Well, this time around, I'm not holding back. This year, the winner of the dunking booth gets a free day off from school. I've got my big bad eyes on the prize. Hex, at the very least, I'll get to Doug Sparrowhood. It's a win-win either way. I agree, Cerise. I'm also entering Carmine in the Best Direwolf in Show competition part of the Magical Beast Show. Sure, he's just a pup, but we've been practicing his howl and dance routine for weeks. Now, I just know he'll knock it out of the bark. Ugh, so adorable. And then, of course, website link on the back, non-existent website on the back. Next, let's take her stand out of the spine. It is, hold on, this is gonna take a minute. It is stuck. I think for some reason they're like literally taping the stands into the spine, but that's making it so much harder to like remove it. So I'm not really sure why they're doing that, but we got it out. So it's gray, just like Kitty's. We'll take that apart in a minute. All right, bookmark is out, stand is out, ring is out. Time to freeze Cerise. Okay, so we'll start with the purse again. Another adorable winning handbag here. It looks just like her little like basket handbag, but it has it's a little wider, and it has the black flowers draping over it. All right, so she is out of the box as well. I still have to clean up the box, and I'm gonna have to do the same thing here with this, cut away all this funky, weird plastic stuff that's just in the way. But another thing I am absolutely obsessed with Cerise's doll is, of course, in her, you know, her design, her artwork, and how she appears in the special, how she has that nice, you know, long braid, but something about how it's so thick on the doll, it just looks so beautiful. Oh my god, like my god, look at her Spring Unsprung look. And I love how it has like the picnic blanket pattern on her dress too, because it's just so like, it's so Cerise, like the picnic basket and off to grandmother's house. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. And here is her box, also looking in good shape. Okay, and this has literally nothing to do with Ever After High, so I apologize if you are not on board with this, but anyone who knows me also knows that I am equally as obsessed with the television series Yellow Jackets as I am with Ever After High. And her little head crown here, like this whole vibe with the twigs and berries, it's giving Lottie Matthews. Wait 1 second. Like, look. Kind of like Antler Queen, Lottie Matthews vibes. Just me? Okay. In my next video, we'll be unboxing these beauties. No pun intended. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.